Hey, ladies, it's Tera, Carissa here. I am so excited. Thank you so very much, Prophetess Shantina, for allowing me to come on and share what I believe is the word of the Lord for the women as we prepare to launch into 2021. And not just every woman, but the businesswoman. For those of you who follow my ministry, you guys know I've been saying it for years now. The virtuous woman is a businesswoman, because when you begin to walk through Proverbs 31, you understand that that was a woman who had multiple businesses, multiple streams of income. She was a wife as well. Let me say this to everyone listening in. As I began to look at, okay, what does the 21st verse say? I like to really line that up with the 21st year. And it says, very simply, that she has no fear of the winter because her family is clothed. Let me tell you what that means. It means that she's in a place, she's in a position where all is well. And I don't know who all I'm talking to today, but the word I hear in my spirit is simply shift. Let me say that again. Shift. Shift your priorities, shift your focus, shift your thinking, shift your mentality. Begin to focus on the things that can get your house in order, your financial house, your mental house, your emotional house, whatever that house needs to be. Begin to look at you, because only when you take care of you will you be in a position to take care of other people. I just said something right there. You've got to sit down and spend the rest of this month really looking at you, doing an evaluation. You know, every year I go to my doctor for an annual. And every year we look at, okay, well, how have things changed in your body since last year? What's going on this year? And what do we anticipate will change next year? You've got to do that with your life. You've got to do that with your career, your ministry, your finances, your job, your relationships all around you. You've got to begin asking, how can I get in better alignment so that my 21st year is like that 21st verse? I don't have any fear because I have everything that I need in the event that something becomes cold in my life, something becomes chilly. If friends walk away, I'm all right. If I got to go through a divorce, don't want to go through it, but I'm all right. Whatever the case may be, that's what it means for there to be warmth and clothing in your house, even in the winter times of your life. Oh, you can do it. I stopped by to tell you that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You are not a damsel in distress. You are a child of God. You are a woman of the Most High. You are valuable. You are purposeful. And you can move forward despite what has happened in your past. Come up with a plan right now where you are. That's how you win. You know, I just ministered the other day, and I'll share this here. When you begin to look at Joseph's life, you understand that Joseph had a horrendous life because his brothers sold him into slavery. But when I began to study Joseph's life, you know what I never saw? I never saw what Joseph looked back on his life as he was going through his process and said, woe is me. Do you realize what my brothers did to me in my last chapter? Do you realize how people misused me and mistreated me? He never did that. And that's a word for somebody listening in right there. You must understand that victory is found in your ability, in your decision to push and move forward. How can you push and how can you move forward and how can you be that Proverbs 31 and 21 woman who has no fear of a winter, whose house is just fine? You don't live in this chapter looking back at your last chapter. You know your next chapter will handle your previous chapter. So you stay focused in this chapter. I just said something right there. Joseph, he got into slavery. He got into Potiphar's house. And in that space and in that place, he became committed to his new assignment. And his commitment to his new assignment there caused him to gain favor. And I want to talk to every woman listening in who's been done wrong. We've all been there. Oh, yes, we've all been lied on, talked about, left, cheated on, misused, abused, you name it. But the victorious women, the powerful women, are women who say, you know what? There's nothing I can do about that chapter except learn from it, fortify myself, get the wisdom that I need to move forward and push on, because my life is not going to die right there. My life is not going to be over at the place that my enemies attack me. Oh no, there's too much purpose for my life. I got another call. I got another assignment. And that's what Joseph did. He got in his new assignment in Potiphar's house and he worked it there. And then when he was done there wrong as well, he got into prison and worked it there as well. I don't know who all I'm talking to today, but I do know that your moving forward, your victory, your joy, your peace, your prosperity will be found in your next push. And I do know that your next push will be found when you sit down and have an honest assessment with yourself and a mentor. Someone who's further along than you, someone who knows more than you, someone you're willing to submit to, someone you're willing to hear the truth from, not just what you want to hear. They'll help you be able to gird up your home, gird up your mind, your heart, your spirit, so that you can begin to build up your life in a way that, just like the Proverbs 31 and 21 woman, you don't have any fears. Come what may. If a storm wants to come, I know the captain of my ship. If a battle wants to come, I know who my protector is. That's the conviction that you can have when you do the work. I don't know who all I'm talking to today, but sis, it is time to push. Look at your life and tell the truth. Where do you need to do the work? Is it in your mind? Is it in your emotions? Is it in your finances? Is it in your relationships? Where is it? Tell the truth about where you need to do the work. And when you start telling the truth about where you need to do the work, you're going to start making progress and moving forward. Who all am I talking to today? The timing is now. You can do it. You've already done so much before now. You can do it. You can push. You can move beyond what you're in right now. You can go forward. Push. Have no fear. That's the word. Have no fear. And when you get to that secure place and you are where you need to be, your 2021 will take off and begin to look like no other year prior to, because you will be growing from a place of stability and not living from a place called fear. See the difference? One nourishes and fertilizes your dream. The other makes you doubt yourself and not quite sure that you can move forward to pursue it. Oh, yes, you can. But it is literally going to take you getting to that space and that place where you begin to work on your life to secure your life. You keep hearing me say push. Let me tell you what push stands for 2021. For the woman in the marketplace, for the woman in ministry, for the woman in marriage, for the woman just living every day. Push stands for prevail until something happens. What does prevail mean? It means remain consistent in your convictions until what you are desiring is what you see. Prevail in prayer, prevail in worship, prevail in your study. This is why the Bible says to study to show thyself approved. Prevail in working on yourself. Prevail in saying no to negative influences. Prevail in saying no to distractions. Prevail until something happens. Prevail until you see your miracle. Prevail until you see your breakthrough. Oh, the victory will come, but victories come to fighters who stay in the ring. Victories come to runners who stay in the race. You know, for those of you who follow my ministry, you guys know I talk about my track days all the way back in high school because I love to run. I still run to this day. But one thing that we learn in track is that even if you're jumping a hurdle, if you trip and you fall, as long as you stay on the track, you are still in the race. And I don't know who all I'm talking to today, but I want to talk to everybody listening in right now. And I want to tell you, you are still in the race. Despite what people have said about you, despite how people have tried to trip you up, you are still in the race. You can still become. You can still move forward. You can still go. You can still begin to reinvent your life and live the life of your dreams. Life is not over for you. That is the work. See, you got to believe that to begin to prevail for that. You've got to believe that to begin to prepare for that. And then you have no fear. There's no fear. There's nothing keeping you stagnant, thinking like, oh my God, is the apocalypse getting ready to happen? Well, if it happens, it's going to find me favored. If it happens, it's going to still find me blessed. If it happens, I'm still prepared. That is what Proverbs 31:21 is about. It is about a woman that despite anything that could happen, she is well prepared. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about spending the rest of this year shutting down. If you need to stop watching so much stuff on television that has nothing to do with your call, your destiny, your purpose, do what you've got to do. If you've got to put your phone on do not disturb, whatever you've got to do to get on your face, to begin to come up with a strategy on how you can move forward to your next chapter. That's what you've got to do, sis, because the time is now. You've got to push, prevail until something happens so that you end up like the Proverbs 31 woman, well, no matter what. I just said something right there. Well, no matter what. It's your time. It's your turn. It's your season. We hear that so often we dismiss it. But let me tell you something. Any season can be your season when you know what you've been planting. Let me say that again. Any season can be your season when you know what you've been planting. When you know you've been doing the work, then you know that you can expect a harvest. Because the Bible says as long as the earth remains, there will always be seed time and harvest. So if you've been planting, you've got an expectation. That's why even in a famine, you ought to still plant. I just said something right there. Even in a famine, you ought to still plant. That is what Isaac did in Genesis 26. They were right smack dab in the middle of a famine. But he sought God. He moved to his next chapter and he began to plant there. He began to prevail there until something happened. And you know what? Something did happen. His next chapter. And that's what I'm saying to every single one of you. Your next chapter is waiting to happen. But you've got to get in that place where all is well no matter what. And the only way to get there is to begin looking over your life, giving yourself an honest analysis. Begin talking to mentors that can say, you know what? This is a great way to go. This is a great place to tighten up. I know you've done well here this year. I know you didn't quite do as well here. I know you've had these distractions going on, but here is your yearly assessment. See, we can't be afraid of assessments. We can't be afraid of people who know more than us telling us the truth about us. That's the only way you grow. Every year I go to my annual, I'm grateful to my doctor. She's given me more information to stay on track or get back on track. But nevertheless, it's for my good. And what I want to say to every woman listening in is that 2021 is for your good. But you have got to prepare. You've got to push. You've got to prevail until something happens. So that you are like the woman that no matter what, no matter who walks in your life, no matter who fires you from a job, you are well because you didn't have just one stream anyway. Who all am I talking to today? The timing is now. I just believe that for those of you that will spend the next 21 days giving your life an honest assessment, I believe that that will be the seed that you need to launch the best year of your life so far, 2021, the year of the woman who is well prepared, so she has no fear. To God be the glory. God bless.